everybody, welcome back to Summer Camp Tips. My name is Howard Hall. I've been involved in the camping industry for 35 years, and I'm here to share some of my knowledge with you. Today I'm going to give you a checklist for parents to go through prior to sending their child to camp. So, let's get started.
Go, 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 gorilla, go, nah, go.
Okay, another question you might want to ask. You might want to ask if all of the staff are required to be CPR first aid trained. Most camps do not, or most licensing organizations do not require that. Every camp that I was the director of, I made sure that all of my staff were CPR first aid certified. So find out. Hopefully you'll never need it, but in case something arises while they're at camp, you want to make sure that the people are close enough to train them. Okay, you want to ask how the camp handles just minor bumps, bruises, and scratches. Do they have somebody in the health center that just has basic first aid, or do they have an RN in the health office? Big difference there. States that don't require any licensing at all, they could have somebody in there with training just to put on band-aids. As compared to ACA accreditations, you have to be an RN. So find out what training they have in the area of healthcare when your child's at camp. Okay, you want to ask if any time during the camp session, transportation is required for an off-camp trip to a water park, to an amusement park, or whatever. And if they do, find out what vehicles they're using and what qualifications the driver has. Once again, going back to the ACA accreditation standards, you have to keep a rolling log of the maintenance on that vehicle. So oil changes, grease, whatever, you have to have all of that in a log to show them when they come and visit. So anyway, find out what kind of car they're using, their van, and find out what credentials the driver has. Okie dokie. You want to find out about their staff members. Once again, not only at the waterfront, you want to find out what the camper to staff ratio is, why the children are around camp and not at the waterfront. And when you find out what the camper to staff ratio is, ask the camp if the numbers that they're counting are for people over 18. Because a lot of camps have what they call junior counselors or CITs, counselor in training, to where they will count that in the supervision, in which I would not, nor would the ACA. So find out how many people over 18 they have supervising the campers during the day. Ask them what screening procedures are in place when they're hiring staff members. Once again, I had the video up that shows what states do not require any licensing or background checks. Now, you want to find out what your particular camp is doing. Now, if they're in a state that doesn't require licensing and they're not an ACA accredited camp, I would stay away from that camp, because there's nobody from the outside looking in at the camp to make sure that it's going to be a safe situation for your camper. And again, a big one is background checks. I couldn't believe how many states, until I started writing them down for you guys, just how many states out there do not require any background checks on their staff. I mean, it's just an opening for a pedophile to get a job at camp. You want to find out what the age range is from the counselors. If they're all 18-year-olds and your camper is 14 years old, I would not feel comfortable with that. There's just too short of a gap in between. So find out the age of their counselors. Make sure that they have, of course they're going to have some 18, 19-year-old counselors, but check and see if they have a few older ones there. Okay, ask what the qualifications the camp director has. Again, when it comes to licensing, most states do not have any requirements on the camp director's qualifications except New York. New York is has got to be by far the most restrictions on a summer camp out of any state anywhere out there. They even go above and beyond the ACA standards. But anyway, see what qualifications they have. The ACA qualifications are they have to be 25 years of age or older. They have to have previous experience as a camp director, and they must attain some kind of training in the off season. So call up and find out what kind of qualifications they may have. Hey, find out who teaches their specialty programs. It could be archery, technology, canoeing, whitewater rafting, high ropes, and find out what high risk activities they have, and then ask what kind of training that they've had on them elements. A good example, high ropes. Now, I would feel more comfortable sending my child to a camp where the high ropes instructors were trained by an outside company coming into the camp to train them than I would staff that was there last year training new staff on the high ropes course. So call up and find out what qualifications your camp requires in some of those high risk activities. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, leave a comment so you can win one of our gifts. And when you leave a comment, tell me your most memorable camp experience. So anyway, please like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends, and peace out.
Go, 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 gorilla, go, now go.